Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Olympus 12 Light Starburst Pendant. This is the 13-1604. A lot of details to get into, so let's jump in. Let's talk about the size of the fixture body itself. That'll be independent of the rod that it's hanging from. It's coming in at 22.9, just about 23. The width on this is 33.2, and the depth is 32.1. So it's essentially round. A little bit of an oval, barely. The overall height, now we're talking about the distance from the bottom of that fixture to the actual ceiling itself is going to give you a range. Hubbardton has a chart that's on our page. It's on the installations instructions PDF. It's on the page on their site. It's way down in the corner over there. It's going to show you all the available heights that are going to be available from the ceiling to the bottom of the fixture. It's also going to show you which combinations of which rods you're going to use to get to those targeted heights, and they should work for pretty much everybody out there. It's going to give you a range of 32 to 77.3, ships with 86 inches of wire. If you need to go beyond that 77.3, let's say you need it to be 120 inches overall height or 160, you just drop a quick email to us and say you're looking at the 13-1604 and you need it to be X long. Tell me also if you're going to be using it on a slope ceiling or a flat ceiling, but the important thing is to tell me how long you need it. I'm going to take your email, send it through the Hubbardton Forge's customs department where they'll come back with an answer. We can generally get exactly what you need and even a little wiggle room going up and down usually. And if you can tell us all of that information, we can take care of you. Adds a little time and money, but we do it every single day. It's just something we do here. This is a non-returnable fixture. It ships on a pallet, so it's always important to know that. It's coming in at 10.6 pounds. It just goes over a normal junction box. It's super light, so good there. And what else? Well, let's kind of move on and talk about this whole rod system. So, Hubbardton Forge has a system of interconnected rods. Threading on the inside there, threading on the inside there. What puts it together is a connector. So a connector is like that right there. So, and that basically goes between them. It hides inside the pipe. So when you put this together, it's going to be an incredibly clean look. So I don't know if you can see. Look at that. The seam basically disappears, and this is only a foot away from my face. So once it's up, you can barely even tell. You're going to be getting 3 of the 12-inch rods, 1 of the 6, and 1 of the 3 to begin with. If you need to go beyond, like I said, that longest, you have to email me because there's just not enough wire to order extra pieces. You're going to need extra wire to go beyond the longest. This is as standard product. When you're going to be building this, you're going to be, well, let's touch on how you're going to see that to begin with. I want to show you the installations instructions. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It is going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you how all these things go together. It's going to show you how this canopy setup is done. Canopy is a 5-inch round canopy. It goes on your, like I said, 4-inch junction box. And it's slope ceiling adaptable already. So if you have a slope ceiling, there's a knuckle built to the top of this that allows that to be slope ceiling adaptable already to 45 degrees. So you're good to go. Okay, so moving on from there, why don't we talk about what's going on inside of this as far as lamping goes. Remember, you have 12 of these porcelain sockets. Each of them are rated for 40 watts for incandescent, and you can put that on a dimmer without any problem. Incandescent bulbs come frosted, they come clear. The ones that I think Hubbardton uses a lot are these T6 bulbs that look like little canisters or like little tubes, basically. They're pretty cool, but you can use all kinds of other ones too, including LEDs. So this is just a couple samples, 4 samples, of some of the LEDs that exist out in the world for you to play with. And there's no limit on these. Most of these are going to be 4 watts in my hand. They're probably 40 watt equivalents. Some of these go up to 60 watt equivalent. That's usually the top of the range for these kind of bulbs. But when you get into LEDs, they don't generate much heat, they generate light, so that's why you can use whatever you like in them. And don't forget, you have 12 sockets. When I talk about the color of light all the time coming out of LEDs, we kind of start off talking about the Kelvin temperature. 2700 Kelvin, that's going to be that super yellow light like a setting sun. Way on the other side of that is called daylight, and that's kind of like a cold hospital waiting room light. That's a 4000, 5000, 6000 Kelvin, or K. And in the middle of that is what we call warm white. And warm white is what we use in our showroom all the time. That's going to be that nice, warm, incandescent glow we all grew up with. That's 3000 K, and that's what we like to use here. That's the light coming down on my hands from these LEDs above. So if you are going to be putting this on a dimmer, and you probably are, obviously, just make sure you tell your installer if you're going to be using incandescent, that's one type of dimmer. If you're going to be using LED, they just need to kind of choose the right dimmer for that application. Let's get into finishes now. If you're on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over on this side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a tab. It's going to say Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. There's going to be a video on there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be talking about a chart a little farther down on the page. You'll see it next to me here. It's going to kind of go over the differences between heavy forging and non-heavy forging, and it'll be talked about in that video. So it's really important that you kind of watch the video, use the chart. You can click on that chart on different things. So you can click on dark smoke and a big page will pop up and show you lots of different things in dark smoke. Click on burnished steel or natural iron, it'll do the same thing. But it's really important that you understand how Hubbardton Forge's finishes are kind of divided into translucent and opaque and how they can look on different fixtures. Our showroom in Vermont has we're up to 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's on Display page. It's way up there in those red tabs again, so click on that and you can see what we have to show you. That changes all the time because we're always adding things as they come out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. We have an amazing clearance center here too. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you were coming to visit us, bring a good-sized vehicle, something like a big SUV or maybe a small truck or something like that, because you might find something in the clearance center that you want to take home, and it's a lot of fun to go through. 75% off MSRP is an amazing bargain, so you should really take advantage of it if you can. Like I said, we're open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call us at 802-446-2400 during business hours. You can email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. We love to answer emails. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else even comes close to that. Some larger items are non-returnable. We'll always tell you about that. It'll be in the description thing, that part of the description underneath on the very bottom. So keep an eye out for that. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. They don't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes, your adjustable ranges to play with, all those things. We can cut that time in half, and it's super inexpensive. If you want to know more, drop a quick email, and I'll walk you through the whole thing, okay? So if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Love to see you in our showroom sometime, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.